All right. When Steel Talks is very pleased to have Miss Orisha John at our studios, a unique experience, a young talent, but you've done so much in your 15 years. Okay, you started playing pan at the age of about 5. And give us a bit of history as to how you got started in pan at such a young age.
I lived right next to Panorama at 5, and sometimes my mother and I would go and visit, and I guess what my mother told me, she told me that I came to her 3 times asking her to play pan, and she ignored me twice, and the 3rd time she went to one of the captains of the band, UpClose Metro, and they took it seriously, and I got started. They had me on a crate because I was too little to reach the pan. And Nolly at the time, Nolly Nicholas was my coach, I guess, and Poppets from Metro at the time, he coached me as well. And now I went through like 4 different steel bands.
Which are?
First was Metro, then Umoja, then Silhouettes, then Pan Rebels, and now I play with Marsicans.
And you have recently been accepted to Juilliard, I believe. Tell us what that experience was like, and in which instrument.
I play the violin, and in 8th grade, my teacher offered me to be auditions in order to get into the school. And at the first audition, I didn't make it, but they gave me an application for a second chance, and my mother followed up with it. And recently, I auditioned again, and it was much more harder. It was more work trying to get in, because it was a written test, it was vocal, and the audition itself, you playing a piece. And they asked me questions like, why would I want to get into the school? And I said, I would like to become better playing the violin, because I only have 4 years, and I would like to be better at it. And I start in September.
September this year.
Yeah.
So you completed your audition and you were accepted. How are you feeling? You know, you're starting in September. What's that feeling like?
I'm calm with things like that. I'm not too much excited, but I'm happy. I'm excited, but in a calm way. I'm glad I got into the school, because it's a very hard school to get in, and it's well known around the world. Well, it was nice to know.
And you got in on your 2nd audition. We understand that some people can audition 3-4 times and still not make it, so talent speaks for itself. Okay, so you've been through about 5 steel orchestras. Right now you're playing with Marsicans Steel Orchestra. And we understand that one of the pieces that they're currently playing, called Bonnie and Clyde, aka Let's Celebrate, you did some arranging for that?
Actually, before the arranger came, the first song we decided for Panorama was The Band Coming, and I wanted to arrange a song, and I got help from Anthony. He plays 4-pan in the band. He arranged the background, like bass, cello, guitar, and I put in for tenor, double seconds, and we put it together because he knows more about background because he plays 4-pan. I played tenor originally, but I recently moved to double seconds. So we put our musical ability together, and we came up with the song.
The original one that was being played by the stage side.
Yeah.
The original version we heard, that was the collaborating talents of yourself and Anthony.
Yes.
Yeah, that was very good. It was quite impressive. You've been writing since you were a little person. Okay, so arranging is not something that's foreign to you. You enjoy it. You enjoy writing?
Actually, I write based on how I play the pen. I use my tenor to help me come up with music.
So, how have your bandmates, those that do know of your acceptance into Juilliard, how have they reacted?
Well, they're happy for me. I'm not sure if everyone knows what Juilliard is, but most people who know, they're happy for me. They congratulate me.
You read music, you write music. Do you find that it helps you in terms of committing what the arranger would put out there for you as a part of Marsicans to learn, and can you share that knowledge with maybe your other bandmates who don't really read and write music?
Well, I just moved on double seconds, and that helped me broaden my musical thought, because I never used to listen to other pieces of music, especially in Steelpan. I used to just listen to tenor and frontline. I now just started like 3 years ago listening to background and the different arrangements, and the double seconds kind of helped me expand. So now I know difference of chords and which notes to use, and knowing and reading music helps that also.
Let's go back to when you were a lot younger. You've been performing for many years now. Do you remember from how far back that's been? And tell us a bit about the places you've performed at and the audiences you've performed for.
I mostly remember churches and funerals and clubs like Aristocrat Manor or Tropical Reflection.
And some events, concerts, and stuff like that. What about television appearances? Have you had any?
I had a few. When I was younger, it was in front of the Islands Bakery. It was like a little stage side. I played tenor so at the time, and Bill Evans from Channel 7, he came in.
The response to this little girl out there center stage playing this Steelpan.
As young as I was, when I first started, people thought I was playing for years. But I was on this crate, and I couldn't reach the pan. And their response was, how could this little girl be playing the pan so well? And when I went solo, it helped me become more well known. Like, people started asking me to play for them. And it was more in the West Indian community.
How do you balance your commitment to pan, because you're obviously well practiced, well rehearsed, takes a lot of commitment. What about your academics? How do you balance both?
Well, I know when to stop and balance. Like, in stage side, it's only twice a week, and I know when to take time out to study. I have to have a schedule based on hours and how much hours to spend on this and how much hours to spend on that. And I'm not the type of person like to study, focus, like study. I study. I study when I think I need to. I do well in school.
Do you want to have a career fully in music, or do you want to balance it with, say, music and another track altogether?
I would like to balance it. Music will always be there in my future, but I would like to learn different things, which I'm interested in law also, agents, and interior designing. It's always a creative side to me, but music will always be there. I would like to have both, actually.
How did you get started in the violin, considering you first started in pan?
Honestly, I didn't know I was going to play the violin. I started middle school, and I went through my schedule, my program, and it was 8th period, and my teacher said, okay, this is strings, everyone welcome to strings. I'm like, what is this? And later on, at first the violin was frustrating. It's frustrating. I didn't make any music. It was just annoying, squeaky. And then I got better at it. I was one of the best in the class, and he moved me from beginner to major. It's usually beginner, intermediate, and then major, but he moved me from beginner to major. And the violin, I started getting better at it. Performing at school, I never had any private lessons. I don't think I needed any, knowing that I play the pan. And so
Have you ever had the opportunity to hear the violin and the pan together?
no, I haven't.
Are you looking forward perhaps one day to having that merging, or you personally to experience it, because I know it's been done before?
Well, my mother said I could merge the pan into the violin. Seeing that I accepted to Juilliard, she said I could somehow bring the pan inside.
You're looking forward to that?
Yeah.
Do they know that you also play another musical instrument?
Yeah, I told them when they were auditioning me, I told them I played the pan.
Do they know what it was, Steelpan?
A few of them. I had got auditioned by 5 of them. A few of them knew what it was, and some asked me what it was.
There were Panorama times. What about the rehearsal times, finishing sometimes late at night? How did that impact on you? And it wasn't school time, but you were young. Girl.
I really can't remember, but I remember, when I was young, I didn't stay behind my pen. I felt like I didn't need all that practice, but I would be there until it finished, or until my parents thought it was time for me to go home. But now, seeing that I'm in school, it's taking a toll on me for some reason, because I'm more tired, playing, and then waking up for school, and then coming home and not taking any naps and going to practice, coming home 1, 2 in the morning, I'm tired.
Okay. What type of music do you like to listen to outside of the music that you play?
I like everything. If you listen to my radio, my mother tells me what am I listening to. But I listen to pop, hip hop, R&B. I listen to various types of music. I like Latin.
Any particular performer at present who you prefer to listen to? Whose music you prefer to listen to?
Not really. I like all equally.
When you were arranging the frontline pans for Bonnie and Clyde, Let's Celebrate, the type of music that you listen to, your varied styles, did that come through in any of your arrangements, do you think?
I think going to Trinidad and hearing the song itself, it kind of got me into the zone of just calypso or soca.
So you would characterize your arrangement for that particular track at that time strictly calypso? Okay. Considering you listen to all various styles of music, where do you see Steelpan, and not necessarily one Steelpan, but maybe some more, fitting into your favorite hip-hop, your favorite pop, R&B? What do you think about that?
Well, seeing that the violin is in a song called Celebrity, All Night Celebrity, My Sister, I think the pan can easily be put into any song, hip-hop, jazz, R&B. I think it can be put to anything. You just have to know a style of music. Just because it's West Indian doesn't mean it has to be strictly soca or calypso or reggae. It can be placed in anything.
Would you like to be the person to do that? Or one of the people that we'd like to hear about?
Yeah.
Okay.
But if I notice that if it's a hip hop or R&B song, it has a Caribbean twist to it of some sort.
What do you think about classic song pan?
I've done it on tenor, Beethoven. There's more.
Okay.
I played for at least on tenor.
What's your pan of choice? You are playing double seconds now, but you started out on the tenor. So when you go out now, are you playing the tenor still? Okay.
I changed double second it's like a personal reason, but I'll express it. It's because I had a competition in March, and I was not familiar with double second at all, and I had to play in this competition, and I had like a week to learn a song, and I really was going brain dead because I forgot the song on stage. I just I can't do this. I stopped in front of everybody on camera, just stopped playing. So now, I think playing double seconds is a way to prove to myself I could play it, and to others, and I could.
Well said. Where would you like to be in, say, 5 years from now, not only in terms of music, but on perhaps one of your chosen career tracks? You mentioned interior decorating, law. I mean, that's going to be an interesting merge.
Well, with law, I like to be a bilingual lawyer. I want to learn Spanish correctly. I speak some Spanish, but I want to learn Spanish correctly. 5 years from now, I see myself in college. I would like to go to college somewhere overseas, like in London or England, or in Paris, somewhere in Europe. I don't want to go to college in the States.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have 2 brothers, 2 sisters. Yeah, actually, I have 3 sisters and 3 brothers.
Any of them musically inclined?
Well, my stepbrother, he likes to sing. He's a singer. He likes to sing. my little sister, she likes to dance. She's only 2. And that's about it. Oh, my brother, he lives in Georgia. He's in the studios. He's with a record label called New Record. And I think the whole family is musically inclined.
You also dance and you sing. So you're a well-rounded instrumentalist, performer. Okay. Do you sing when you go out anytime?
No, I only sing in the choir at church.
Okay.
I sing in my shower or in my house when nobody's listening.
Okay. How has the season, the New York Panorama season, been for you so far? I mean, you're playing with Marsicans, the arranger is up here, and you guys are getting together, nightly. What's the vibe like?
Oh, wow. The vibe, I really think and hope that we'll win. Marsicans will win. I never won a Panorama since I've been playing. And usually, I guess from playing for 10 Panoramas, I stopped playing for competition. Now I play for
10
fun.
Panoramas? 10? And you're 15. You've played in 10 Panoramas and you're 15. Okay, just wanted to make sure we got that right for the camera. 10 Panoramas and you're 15. You know there's some people who are 43 and haven't played in 10 Panoramas.
This is my 10th.
Okay. Candle on the cake, right?
I have love for sonatas, but everybody know that. Like we're like two of the most closest bands. Like we support each other.
and sonatas, okay.
We support each other. I don't know if anyone's noticed.
Okay.
But I have love for pentonics because I grew up with some of the people there.
Yeah, because I think Wayne Puppets.
Yeah.
He plays with pentonic.
It was Metro Emotion, I guess.
Okay. So basically, what is it like with the young people in the New York Pan scene? In terms of, you said there's a support. How do you guys relate across the board? You mentioned pentonic. Do you find that there's a natural relation and a reaction to each other because you're all young people who love the instrument?
Yeah, I think that's true. Like I said, we Marsicans sonatas. They support each other. We support each other. I just hope it's a good Panorama this year.
A yearly event. Okay. What happens when the Panorama season, comes to an end? Does the stateside, do you perform with them that much?
Yeah.
Okay. And
it's sad. It's like everything's over.
Yeah, like the weather, everything closes down. So, what type of gigs, do you perform at once Panorama's over?
I don't really know.
Various.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the reception like when you perform? How do the people respond to the music?
It depends where we go. I remember at Joey's job, people liked it was around Christmas, I think. It was Joey's job, and they liked it. I'm not sure if they all knew what it was, but it looked like they responded to it in a motion way.
Let's go back to your 10 Panoramas that you've played in. You wouldn't remember all of them because obviously at your age at 15. But for those that you do remember, you would have experienced the arranging of different people. Right. So who are some of the people that you remember that you have played under for the Panoramas? And what was different about them?
I can't remember their arranging style, but my first Panorama was with Eddie Qualis. Then it was with Clyde Bradley. Then it was with Bugsy and Pelham. It was back and forth with Bugsy and Pelham. Now it's with Pelham.
Okay, and so being someone who is arranging, do you remember anything that you particularly like, even as a younger person, about any of these people that, did you enjoy a particular part in some songs and whatnot?
I like the bonding that I had with the arrangers. I had a nice bond. And I really can't remember the music, but I just like the bonding.
How many of them are aware of your arranging talents?
I think now only Pelham, Goddard, and maybe Clyde Bradley.
Okay. I understand that you were section leader at some point?
Last year, I was second lead for tenors.
In Marsicans?
Marsicans.
Okay.
But, it was also Chanel. Chanel, she plays Marsicans also, she plays tenor. And this year, they appointed all the stateside members to be section leaders of the section. So, seeing that I play double section, it's me, myself, Michael, and Nigel. We all double second section leaders.
Okay. What is that experience that you remember like for that 10 minutes of glory, as they say, on stage for Panorama?
I don't think I was nervous when I was younger. I think now I'm more nervous. But the experience is just, it's bananas. It just the thought of going on the stage and like, I know there's always thoughts of, okay, I'm not gonna drop my stick, and then you might drop your stick, or like messing up. It's always gonna be a rush there. The experience, it's a nice experience.
Okay, so you're part of this 60, 70 plus member orchestra, and you're playing together, and it's that one-time performance for a competition. What is that feeling like for you personally?
When it's done, I wish I could go back on stage and do it again, because you have one chance to let the judges know what you've been doing for all these months and weeks, and when it's over, you just wish you could do it again.
If you had a wish for Pan, the instrument, what do you personally wish for?
I wish that everyone knew where Pan actually came from, because there's controversy still about it coming from different islands. Nothing's wrong with the other islands, but I want everyone to know where it really came from, which was Trinidad.
Do you see yourself always being part of the Panorama experience if your schedule permits it? You've got a busy schedule coming up.
Well, I don't think I'll be a part of the stage show like I was this year, but I'll be a part of it.
Is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
Oh, no, other than me going to Trinidad. It was a lifetime experience.
You went to Trinidad when? This year?
Yeah, February.
Did you play?
Yeah.
You did? With which band?
Thanks to...
Oh, okay. And what did you play? Tenor?
I played tenor.
Okay, and what was that like? That was your first time?
My first time ever playing piano in Trinidad. And I would never forget that moment. I was there long enough to even play from semifinals. I was there from January, and I came back ending of February. Carnival Tuesday. I had to leave Carnival Tuesday. And I played with Phase 2, and it was nice seeing Bugsy again, because he hasn't been in New York in a while. And he was in the hospital, and he came out, and he put some into the music. And it was a nice experience.
What is different, if you find any difference, between the practicing sessions for New York Panorama, where you've had many experiences, and then this first time Phase 2 experience?
It's more serious in Trinidad. Like, they have many follow-ups before Panorama. Like, they have preliminaries and semifinals and finals. Here we only have one Panorama. And it's just taken more seriously there. You can tell people care about, the Pan. People care about it here, but, I need to be more serious with Pan. People sleep on the Pan or whatever, but it's taken seriously Trinidad.
Would the Trinidad Panorama be one of the 10 panoramas you've played in, or would that make 11?
That would make 11.
That's what I thought. So let's change that for the record books. 11 panoramas at age 15. Okay. What's the stage experience in Trinidad like, especially in finals night, as compared to the panoramas that you do remember here in New York?
I was more focused. Like, I danced. Like, people
This is
that I didn't
Trinidad
dance.
you're talking
Yeah,
about? Okay.
I didn't dance much, but I danced. I guess it being my first time, I didn't want to, go crazy. But I danced. Not as much. The camera didn't catch me dancing. But I was more focused, and instead of not messing up and not dropping my stick, that's all I was thinking about.
Do you find it easy to pick up your lines? Okay, to get your practice sessions done, pick up the arrangements? What is it like for you?
Oh, seeing that I know music is easier. Like, I know I can probably expect what will come next in a piece, especially if it's scales or, sevenths music.
Boogsy's music is thought by many to be some of the more difficult out there to actually implement. What do you think, having had such varied experiences, and now, you're 15, you can remember?
I had to change my mentality for that month.
Boogsy's music is thought by many to be some of the more challenging arrangements to implement, to execute on pan. Now that you've had that experience this year at this age of 15, what was your experience like? What do you think in comparison to the people you've played under before, and you're currently playing under Mr. Goddard, Pelham Goddard right now?
Seeing that I play with Pelham Goddard, his style of music is different to Boogsy's, and I had to get out of that mentality and get in focus on Boogsy's style for that month, because his style is totally different to Pelham's.
What was different, do you think?
It was challenging. It's different. I think his is more jazz, but in like a soca or calypso tone.
So you think it's a bit more complex then? Makes you work more harder. Okay. What about the practice times? Because the practice sessions in Trinidad are probably, different, longer in phase 2 than what you used to here.
I think it depends on the arranger.
Okay.
Because I know Pelham wouldn't like just give music after a certain time.
Right.
But Bogsy, we had to leave at a certain time, and it depends on like how we're into the music, I guess. It's only my first time there, so I don't want to say.
Okay, but for instance, did you stay after hours?
Yeah.
So it was different from what you were experienced to up here. So you just had to, work with that.
Not really. I was just looking forward to playing pan. That's all I was focused on.
And that's all that mattered.
It wasn't even carnival. It wasn't even mass. It was just
Pan. The Jumbie, as they call it. Well, you sure caught that bug early. 4.5, 5 years old on a crate. I'd say you got that covered. Okay. Orisha, it was really great having you. The world has recognized and continues to recognize your talents, be it in vocals, violin, or Steelpan. And your mom had worked with a whole lot of certificates. We've seen accolades being, bestowed upon you, and there's a lot of certificates documenting all the stuff you've done. You've gotten into Juilliard, one of the best music schools, thought by many to be so in the world. So you've got a great road ahead of you. You enjoy what you do, you love what you do, so congratulations. Keep reaching, and you're pretty young. And by the time you get to like 25, we think you would have played in 21 Panorama, right? Thank you very much for coming down to the studios of One Steel Talks. Orisha, thank you. It's been great having you.